In the final days of World War II, much of Japan was in ruin. Dozens of Japanese cities were bombed. Hundreds of thousands lost their lives. Millions were left homeless. It's now been 70 years since the end of the war, and Japan has recovered to become one of the most advanced nations in the world. However, the road to reconstruction was not easy. The damage to Japan was extensive. Tokyo, the nation's capital, was hit particularly hard.
In Tokyo, there was a fire bombing, and it was only a couple of hours at night, March 10th, 1945. And that was, in the record of history, the worst casualties in a couple of hours. Over 100,000 people were burned and killed in Tokyo.
The price Japan paid for war was heavy, but for some, the war with the United States was justified.
America contained Japan, and we didn't have access to oil and other resources, so we had to go out. That's the reason why. So for the number one reason for going into war was security.
The first years in the aftermath of the war were particularly difficult. Japan was a nation on the brink of starvation.
After the war, in my childhood, I think the Japanese society was very poor.
Japan would eventually emerge far stronger than ever before. Moving from an industry of war to an industry of manufacturing and exporting, Japan left behind the nation that sought to conquer Asia and gave rise to a nation that conquered financially and would go on to become the world's second largest economy at one point. However, for some, despite the horrors people in Japan endured, they feel that the country is better off than had history been different.
Japan lost the last war, and so that meant the end of Japanese militarism. I think that was actually good for Japan.
This is Albert Siegel reporting from McClatchy, Tokyo.